US-China trading transactions, if it happens, is hardly to end the competition among the two economical giants. Both of sides include fought a trading war above the history year in enduring ensuing consequences for the world economics. But lots say their controversy goes so for trading, it represents a force struggle among two really various planet view. Transactions or no transactions, how competition is just anticipated to expand and be more than hard to solve. We include introduced in a new regular in that US-China geopolitic contest has strengthened and be more than obvious, says Michael Herson, Asia CEO at consulting company Eurasia Team. This trading transactions will mild one stage of the US-China force fight, but just provisionally and in bounded impact. The US-China competition is potential to act out following in the key technique segment, analysts tell, as both of sides try to set by themselves as the planet's technique lead. Issues about technique transmission include been key for trading negotiations among the planet's two greatest economies in latter months. Each nation now properly recognizes how their prosper, their riches, their economical safety, their war safety is departure to be related to compliance a technology and, says Stephen Olson, study comrade at World Trading Consultative Flesh Hinrich basis. Let's say the US-China technique fight is already by way, and China's technology gigantic Huawei is at its really center. Huawei has been the attention of intensive world study recently. In the US and some countries increase safety concerns on its means. This period, common Cold Warfare, is overused in the background of common US-China tensions, but is more exact in description their technique contest, says Mr. Herson. The controversy above Huawei is symptom of the strengthened geopolitic contest, he adds. The competition is far more than hard to solve rather than clean trading issues. U.S. concerns on China include grown up in latter year, on in China's impact about the planet. Its large waste and way lead, the Done in China 2025 plans, and the increasing significance of companies like Huawei and Alibaba include all introduced to those fears. Hopes China would hug a more than West pattern has taking into account way to a acceptance how China's economics has boomed near a country-run framework, not in malice of it. China has been lot more than obvious in its ambitions in the recent few years, says Andrew Gilholm, CEO of Analysts for China, at Consulting Monitoring Risks. Thus no is imagining how China is departure to pursue a West permissive more democratic pattern, or come together to a marketplace economics in the way how human beings hoped a few years back. Several analysts believe a stay-off among the two sides was unavoidable. Their various system include ever done them uncomfortable bedfellows in the world economics, time clashes among current and growing powers are overall in story. Which we are behavior in there is dispute among conventional complementary marketplace economy, complementary trading economy, Washington unanimity principles against, for the at first period, a enormous, technically subtle, centralized managed economics how is game the play by a various set of rules, says Mr. Olson. As the technique racing gathers step, analysts wait the U.S. to go on to use non-tariff measures to shove behind versus China. Restrictions on China invest in the U.S., framework on the capacity of U.S. firms to exportable technique to China, and future blood pressure on China companies are all toolkit how could be utilized, they tell. Non-tariff measures don't get the focus of markets how tariff do, partially since their effect is stronger to quantify, but they can include distant reaching effect, says Mr. Herson. It intensified by the government's force to overview, and potential unit, industry deals comprising overseas firms by expansion the kind of deals how can be discussed by the Board on Overseas Invest in the U.S., CFI-US. The board vets overseas investment to see if they present a hazard to domestic safety. How US-China relations evolve of there will partially rely on the type of trading transactions they hit. But analysts say the relation among the two giants could see various departure striker irrelevant of any trading transactions. They could include and completely coup, prosperous, reciprocally advantageous relation in specific areas but put up impeding in other in which Mr. Olson outlined as a selectivity interchange. An growing quantity of areas could be enclosed away, especially those associated to technique, he says. Is Huawei always departure to, in a considerable path, be capable to take part in the building of the 5G web in the joint state? It seems hardly.